Hi lovelies, and welcome back to my channel. Happy Halloween! Today's video is the truth about being psychic Q&A. I'm so excited to finally be doing this video. If you like it, remember to hit a thumbs up, comment down below what you think, and subscribe because I upload videos like this every single week, and if you enjoy them, then you'll want to stick around and be part of our lovely community. If you would like a private reading with me, I offer email readings. You can email me at kirstieLewisreadings@outlook.com. And if you want to be involved on everything that goes on once this camera is switched off, then you can follow me on Instagram at @IamKirstieLewis. It's a lot of fun over there and you don't want to miss it out. So I have gathered questions both from YouTube community page and my Instagram page, and I'm finally going to be answering them, and I'm really excited. I get asked a lot of questions about being psychic and what it's really like and how I see things and how I read, and so I'm really glad to finally be answering some of those questions for you. So let's get started. One of the questions that I got asked quite a lot was, when did I first know I was psychic and that I could connect with spirit and things like that. It's something I've known since I was very little. I just probably didn't realise what it was. I had a lot of imaginary friends when I was little who I have discovered as an adult were spirits and child spirits, and I used to do a lot of things as a child that were, I don't know, not weird, but you know, I would like our toilet, I would pull the chain and I would run down the stairs because I would be scared that there was something up there. Like, I've always been terrified of the dark. Even now as an adult, as a 27-year-old, I still cannot sleep in the dark alone. I hate sleeping in the dark. I have to have some form of light. I really struggle with it because I see a lot of shapes and visual things in the dark, and I would say I've probably always been aware of it. I used to go to a lot of psychic evenings and spiritual mediumship evenings with my mum at the local spiritualist church. So it's something I've always been aware of, and it's something that has developed more and more over time. When I was about 15, I lost one of my close friends. She committed suicide, and I think looking back after that experience, that's when everything I could think kind of really sparked and started flying off the handle, if it were. Not flying off the handle, but that's when everything was really propelled. And I remember going to see a psychic, and I've seen many psychics since then, but she said to me, I must have been about 15 at the time, and she said to me, you will do what I do, but it's not going to be until your mid-late 20s, which is where I am now, and I am doing it now, and it's like still crazy for me to think I do this because it's a big dream of mine. So yeah, I think it's something I've always been aware of. It's just only maybe like the past maybe like 10 years I really realised what it was. Something I looked around and I thought everyone had the abilities that I had, and everyone saw and like could connect to people when they first met them, but I'm slowly realising that not everyone is the same as me. And that was a bit of a shock. Someone said, how long have you been a tarot reader? I started last year and have no one to read for. Okay, well, first of all, the first person you start reading for is yourself. I think any kind of tarot reader will say that the first person you begin to read for is you. I have really struggled with tarot because as a reader, I'm actually an energy intuitive reader, so I actually don't need cards to read people. I can actually just connect to them via their energy. I just use the cards as like clarification of, okay, yeah, what I'm feeling is right. So when I was maybe about 18, 19, 20, I got the Rider-Waite deck tarot, and something about the Rider-Waite, and I'm not saying it if you've got this tarot deck, but something about it just didn't sit right with me. It felt very dark to me. It felt very not negative, but the energy just didn't feel right for me, and I threw them away and I said, that's it, I'm not doing tarot ever again. And then when I started to do these readings in February this year, I said, right, let me get a tarot, let me try again, let me get a different tarot deck. And I think that's the key. I think the key is you have to find the right deck for you. My deck is the Golden Tarot. I absolutely love that deck so much, and you just practice, you practice on you. You'll be surprised how many people want tarot readings. once you have to have the confidence to say I'm a tarot reader, and I think once you say that out loud, then people will be like, oh, read for me, and you'll have a lot of people to read for. Okay. Someone asked about religious upbringing and conflicting feelings, and did I feel the same? I was brought up in a household where no kind of religion was taught to me. In England, we grew up in a school where, well, I don't know if it's the same anymore, but very much Church of England, so you grow up singing rhymes. So you grow up singing hymns, and you go to church, and that's the kind of procedure for an English school. I don't know if it's different now, but that's how it was when I was younger. We would sing hymns, we would celebrate Easter, we would celebrate Christmas. So I'd say if I grew up as any kind of religion, it would be Christianity, but I don't really have a religion, and I never really did. Like I said, my parents, both my parents actually, even though I don't really have a relationship with my dad, but growing up I went to spiritual events with both of them, and it's something that's just always been a part of me. My mum is very like liberal, I suppose, in the sense of you make your own choices and you do your own things. And so the only thing I can really advise is, if you're having conflicting feelings, my kind of view in it is this, because I didn't grow up in that same kind of like circumstance. My only advice would be this, is to follow your heart, because your heart can never be wrong. And I personally think, and this is just my personal opinion, that within every single religion there is actually a rhyme and reason and a thread that ties them all together. And I think there's no reason why you can't be Christian and spiritual. There's no reason why you can't be Muslim and spiritual. There's no reason why you can't be Buddhist and spiritual. In fact, I think within any religion there is spirituality that runs through it, and I think there is more understanding and common threads between religions than we think there is. And I think if you look for the common thread, you'll probably find yourself feeling a bit more eased with it. At the end of the day, it's your choice to make. If you want to follow two religions, spirituality isn't really a religion, it's more a lifestyle, and I think you can, like I said, be spiritual and follow a religion. It's up to you how you want to live your life, and I would just advise you not to be dictated or, you know, by anything else. Follow your gut and your heart and what you want to do. That's the only thing I could really advise you to do in that situation. Okay, I really like this question. What is the best part and worst part of having these gifts for you? The best part, actually let's start with the worst part. There's two things that I have struggled with. One, like I just said, I struggle with actually seeing things, because I am clairvoyant, so I do see things, and I've said to Spirit, you're going to have to hold off on that part for me at the moment, because I know I'm not ready. It terrifies me, like if I sleep at night, because I'll usually see things when I wake up, when I'm in the midst of, in between sleep and waking up, I'll see things. It terrifies me, it scares me. So that's something I need to work on, because that is part of my gift. And the second thing is the sensitivity part. Now, I'm very, 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 very sensitive. I'm proud to say that over the past year, it's something that I've worked on. And so I'm not as sensitive as I was, because I worked on protecting my energy. But before, like, you could probably like blow me and I'd probably burst into tears. I'm super sensitive, and it's something that I have struggled with. And when you are psychic, or you are clairvoyant, or you are an empath, or you're anything, the reason your emotions and everything are so much more sensitive than other people's is because you have to go through things to be able to empathize and relate. You have to have, like, this is a job where you have to have life experience, and it makes everything, it makes your obstacles 10 times harder, it makes the challenges you go through 10 times harder, but it makes you a harder and stronger and more rounded person. So for any light workers or spiritual people out there, I feel you. I know that when we go through things, it's really hard, and that's the downfall of it. It's like when you fall really, 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 really hard. It's not just like, oh, having a bad day. It's like, I'm having a really bad day. It's like you feel everything so much more, because you're so much more connected to everything, so you feel things so hard. And the best thing without a doubt is, there's so many things I love about it. I love being able to help people, I love being able to connect to people, I love being able to know things, and to not express that I know them. So there's like a secretive knowing that I just don't share with people sometimes. Sometimes I know if people are happy in their relationship or whatever, and I get to feel that joy, and that's a selfish thing really. But even when I do my readings for people and I can feel like the love that's in their relationships, or I can feel the excitement that's going to come around them getting a new job or something, it's just so amazing. Like, it's just the best thing ever, because you get to share people's joy. And I'm gonna get emotional, but there's nothing more incredible than that. And it's an exciting realm to be a part of. Like, spirituality is a very exciting realm to be a part of, and I love, even though I said they are the bad bits, I don't change anything about it, because I just love this lifestyle and this life so much. I've got a few questions from the same person, which is, how do you protect yourself and or enhance your psychic abilities? How do you deal with psychic abilities and knowing things in your life or your partner's life or your family's life? Does it scare you? And what does spirit look like or sound like, and how does spirit speak to you? So there's a few things there. So the first one, how do I protect my energy? I have a ritual, and I think that everyone probably has their own ritual. For me, before I do any reading, I put on my hands a hand bracelet, I meditate, I connect with my guides, who is my granny is my number one guide. So I connect with my granny in spirit, and I have spirit guides as well. I then surround myself with light, I sage, and I just make sure that the space feels right. If the space doesn't feel right, I'll just keep going, I'll keep saging, I'll open the windows, I'll make sure all the negativity or stale energy is released. And this is the same of protecting yourself. Someone asked about protecting yourself from toxic people. I do this before I go to work, because I work in an environment where there's a lot of people, where I'm dealing with a lot of people, and the last thing I want to do as an empath or as a psychic medium is take on other people's energy. So I have a whole ritual that I go through, lighting candles, but you have to find your own ritual. Like, it's taken me a while to find mine, and I'm still developing it, but that's what I do. I have a ritual, and I make sure before I do anything spiritually based that ritual is followed, and that's really important. Enhancing your psychic abilities is just like anything else in life. It takes practice. The more you do it, the stronger it gets. And for me, it's happened very quickly. Like, I've always had psychic abilities, but I've always kind of like not pushed it to the side, but tried not to delve into it too much, because I knew that one day it would be my everything, and it now is my whole world, and it's full on. Like, it's not like it just switches off. Like, it's full on. It's something that's 24/7. You just have to keep practicing readings, meditation, connecting with your guides, connecting with yourself. That's the one most important thing I can say. It's so important you connect with yourself. It just takes a lot of practice. The thing with spirituality is it's such a personal journey that the way it's gone for me is completely different to how it would probably go for someone else. So it's such a personal thing. You just have to find your own way with it. That's the only thing I can say, because everyone's journey is completely different. And dealing with what's going on in family's life, partner's life, I try and like stay out of that. There's a thing when you're a psychic medium that, so here's your third eye, and some people are too close. So when something's too close, you're blinded, you can't see. And that's how it is with family. So for example, my partner, I can't see anything. I can't see anything that's good, because he's so intertwined with my life. Same way as I can't foresee my future, I can't foresee his. So he's right here, so I can't see anything. And it's the same with my family, they're like right here. So, but there's people that are further away. So like my friends, I get a lot of things about my friends, and they're probably going to watch this and be like, what do you know about me? But I just don't share them, because it's just not my place. And if they ask me and they wanted my honest opinion, then I would. But if I feel it's going to hurt them, or it's something that they don't need to know right now, then I don't share it. And that's just the way it is. I have to be very tactile when it comes to people who are close to me, because I am emotionally connected to them. So it's a different kind of vibe. Someone said, do you receive messages through dreams, and do you do any rituals to become stronger? So like I just said, rituals is a big part of my psychic connection. I wouldn't advise doing anything without having your own, like your own protection ritual, your own connection ritual, your own deconnection, because remember, you don't want to stay connected. So for example, before I do a reading, I connect, and afterwards I disconnect. So a lot of spirituality is about having rituals, and I would advise, if you want to get involved with it, you have to create your own. It's the only way. You can't do mine because it just won't feel as strong. Do I receive messages through dreams? I receive a lot of messages through dreams. Oh, and what do spirits look like to me? It all depends. It all depends. I've connected with spirits where they've physically shown themselves to me. But what I always say is when I try and describe it to people, because it is something that's quite indescribable. Yeah, it's something that's quite indescribable. It's not like I'm sitting here and I'm having a conversation with a human being and I can interact with them, and that's why everything, and I always say this, sometimes I get things wrong because a lot of psychic mediumship is interpretation, and because spirits don't just talk to you like I'm talking like this. They talk to you through visuals, they talk to you through words they'll show you, they talk to you through feeling. So you have to interpretate it in your own way, and how I perceive something is completely different to how someone else would perceive something. And so that's why sometimes you can get things wrong, and that's why I say I try and be as clear and as everything as I can, and I go back and I say, is this definitely what you mean? But I can only go with, it's a different kind of connection and communication. I can only go with what I feel. And so sometimes I'll see them out of my third eye. It's not like I physically see them in front of me, although I have physically seen spirits before. I usually see them out of my third eye. It's almost like an imagination. It's almost like it's just a thought in your head, except it's not in your head. It's very, very strange. I honestly really cannot explain it. And sometimes you'll hear voice, but it takes a lot of spirit's energy to actually give you sound, so that's quite rare. I connect with smell a lot. I will like randomly be walking down the street or randomly be sitting in my house and I'll smell things. There's a million different ways spirit can connect with you. Like you'll have dreams, or you'll have thoughts, or you'll keep thinking about something, and then I'll go to sit down and read with someone and I'll meditate on them and I'll go, that's why I've been thinking about that all day. So it's really, really weird. But it's not like you sit down and you have a coffee and a chat with someone that you know. It's a lot of interpretation and trying to work out what they mean and puzzling things together and putting things together and picking up on energy. It's a lot of feeling rather than thinking, but it's the most amazing experience. Really, really is. Is there such a thing as dark spirits? If so, how do you protect yourself, and how can you be sure the information they are passing on is true and not malicious? Fabulous question. There is such thing as dark spirits. I call it, rather than dark spirits, I just call it negative energy. Again, rituals. I know that's a really boring answer, but it's the truth. I have to really protect my energy. I have to ask my spirit guides to protect. I can't see negative energy or dark spirits that are around me, but my spirit guides can. And I ask them if there's anything in here, if there's anyone in here, if there's any negative energy, we cleanse it out, we sage, we open the windows, we get rid of it. Like we get rid of it, and we visualize white light, and we visualize the white light going out, and we just make sure. And you can tell by feeling. You can tell by feeling. I won't say what reading I did a few weeks ago, and it wasn't for a person, like a one personal reading. It was for a celebrity, and that's the only one time I was like, am I actually speaking with this person? Because the energy felt a bit off, and I did have to question it. And unfortunately, it's one of those things that you are taking a risk, but you protect yourself before you go ahead with any risk. At the end of the day, you would feel it. If it's a dark, malicious spirit, you would know, you would feel it. It just wouldn't, something wouldn't sit right with you. And that's the only time that's ever happened to me. Something just didn't feel quite right. And so I switched it all off. I went off. I asked my spirit guide to come in and just clear the energy and cleanse it. And we came back and clarified that it was actually the person. The energy was just a little bit off. Do you see even when not in front of a tarot deck? So yes, I actually don't need a tarot deck to read people. I'm very empathic. I read on energy. I'm very intuitive. I call myself an intuitive energy reader because that's kind of what I am. I just use the cards as confirmation of what I'm feeling. So for example, if I felt like you're in a really loving relationship and then I'd pull over the Lovers, that would be confirmation that what I'm feeling is correct. So no, I don't need a tarot deck, definitely not, to read people, definitely not. There are a lot of questions about how to heighten your abilities and how to know you're psychic, and the one thing I will say is I think every single person on this earth is a spiritual being, and because of that I feel like we all have spiritual connection, and so I feel like we're all able to connect with spirit if we really want to. It's just like, I feel like all people can sing, it's just at different levels. It's the same kind of thing, it's just you're at different levels, and if you want to heighten it, some people are lucky enough to be naturally gifted and some people have to work at it, but if it's something you want to do, then you can definitely work at it. I've talked a lot before in different readings about this world needing light workers, and we do. And if it's something you want to try, I just advise meditation, lots of sage, and clearing your energy and clearing out yourself first, because before you can even allow yourself to connect with anything or anyone else, you need to connect with you. So find the happiness and the joy in your life, and it's definitely something that I think everyone can do. It's just, like I said, people's levels of it are different to other people's. I hope that's cleared up any kind of questions, and I just want to take this moment and not get emotional like the sensitive soul that I am, and just thank every single one of you that's watched, that's liked, that's subscribed, that's commented. You have literally changed my whole being, my whole life, and I can't thank you enough. It's enormous what this channel does for me, and I'm so blessed and grateful to be able to do this, and I just want to thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. If you like this video, please remember to hit a thumbs up. Do subscribe down below, because like I said, I make videos like this every single week. Well, usually they're celebrity psychic readings. If you want to be involved with what goes on after this camera switches off, then remember to head over to my Instagram at @IamKirstieLewis. And if you'd like a private reading with me, then just email KirstieLewisReadings@outlook.com. Thank you so much for your love, for watching and your support, lovelies, and I'll see you soon. Bye.